Everybody, this is Artisan Loom here again with another tutorial of one of my earlier designs, and I believe this design, well, it's called the Beaded Wasp, and this is what it looks like. Got the sun coming in over there, so I don't know if you can get like a, anyhow, this is called the Beaded Wasp, and I made this I think 39 weeks ago, and I'm gonna show you how to make this exact color scheme here. I've already done this once and I decided to do, well, I did this one and then I decided to make one with the same border, yellow and black, and then decided to put on these little beaded bands that are frilly. I decided to use yellow and then black in the single chain down the center. And well, let's just say it looks like a shag rug. Look at that. I did the tutorial and I did it with this, but I am so not happy with this. This is so ugly to me. Looks like an angry swarm of wasps, as AZMS Mom said to me. So, which I think is absolutely hilarious. To me, it looked like a shag rug. To her, it looked like an angry, what am I, Elmer Fudd? Angry swarm of wasps. So anyhow, I didn't like it, so I wanted to do the tutorial over because I wanted to explain to you how I recommend you doing this. You can all do two different colors and make it look like this on the side because these are double banded, okay? Or you can do all solid, however you want to do that part. Now in here I've got, I don't know if you can see it or not, I've got black sweets. That is going to be the big, I believe it's the big X's that I'm doing down the center. But all the other bands are the opaque black. And the single chain going down the center will be the opaque black. But you see that I've used black and black sweets. So two very similar colors, just one with some sheen on it. And that's what I recommend you doing. So whatever you do on the side is fine. But whatever you do down this whole center area, they need to be similar colors, or else you're going to come out with something like this. And I'm not proud of this one at all. So I think that if you did this in like pinks and maybe did use some 600 count fairy sweets, that would look pretty, along with some sort of opaque. That would look great. And maybe use you know, a different color, maybe some medievals or Persians down the side. However you wanted to do it, but I just don't recommend, I recommend the whole center being like very similar colors. So, just so you know. And I'm hoping that you decide to do some renditions in other colors besides this, but I really think this is so cool. Okay, so good news, it's a 3-pin bar setup, 2 full lengths long. We're going to go to the very end because it does shrink up a bit because I'm using the double bands and the thicker black sweets. So I'm going to use the same exact colors in mine. So I'm going to go ahead and get my black and yellow out. And what we're going to do is we are going to do double bands. I'm going to put my black on the bottom. So I'm going to do them each singly so that they don't get all twisted. So I'll put a black one on the bottom and a yellow one on top. Okay, and then to the right, black, and then yellow. Man, that sun is like bright. Okay, black and a yellow on top. And that's basically what I'm going to do the whole way, is I'm going to just go up the sides. Oh, there's my friend. I better turn my volume off or she will just go to town messaging me. She knows who she is. Okay. All right. Now you can pick up a black and yellow and put them on together like that, but I just do it singly just so that they don't get all twisted. But you're just going to go from here to the left, here, center to the right, and then a single chain all the way to the center, and then come in on the left, and then come in on the right and meet in the center. So that's what you're going to do all the way down. So if you want to go ahead and finish that part, that would be awesome. I'll see you in a minute. So once I have that all done, what we need to do is a single chain down the center, and I'm going to use my black opaque again. So all we're doing is a single chain. So when you get this part done, I'll meet you back here, and we will start on these beaded frilly thingies. Okay, I'll be right back. So what I have now, done the single chain down the center, and I went ahead and made up a bunch of, I'm sure I need more than this. Okay, I'll show you what I did here. And I'm going to have to, hold on, get me another bead, and I'll show you how we do this. Okay, so basically, we are going to bead up double bands with one seed bead going through it. So, just like that. So, I'll show you, and it really, you need to use thin bands or you won't be able to get a 2 bands through the seed bead. There's 6 seed beads, that's the size, and so if you use 2 opaques, that'll work, like what I'm doing, or you can use jellies. Work really great because they stretch so much and they're so slippery and thin that they'll go through, and the 600 count would work well. But anyhow, I'm using black opaque, and then I put both bands on my threading tool, and then I put them through 1 seed bead and then pull it through just like that. Okay, so that's all you do. You just make up a bunch of them, and I'm not sure exactly how many, but you know, if you need more, then you can make up more. Okay, so basically what I'm going to use is my opaque black. Okay, because where I'm saying I'm going to stay away from any other colors except for the yellow on the sides. I'm going to use very similar colors down the center. Now if you chose to use like pinks or purples or whatever, just like I don't know, like 2 different shades of pink or purple, but I would not go with like green and then an orange or something like that, because it will turn out like my angry swarm of wasp that I showed you at the beginning. So it just looks so much cooler if you keep them to very similar colors. So I'm going to start here by in this left peg. I'm going to take a band and stretch it over to the center, and then I'm going to take my double band with the seed bead on it, and what I'm doing is you want to grab the 2 sides, which, okay, depending on how they're put on here, these 2, this is one end and the other end of this the same band. Okay, so I'm going to take it and put it here. You don't want to grab one end of one band and one end of these. You want to try to keep them together like that. Okay, and then we take a regular opaque band, and we'll go from there and bring it over. Okay, don't worry about if these go underneath this band, because we can fix that all at the end when we take it off, because we're going to have to fix it anyhow. So I went from here, let me see if I can zoom in so you can see. I went from here to here with the single band, and then here to here with the double band. Only putting one side on. So these 2 loops right here will be left off. Okay? So you're only putting the one band on and leaving these free. Okay? And then you take a band, a single band, and go from here. And from here to here, we're going to use another, so I'm going to put them in the correct order. These 2 go together. So I'm going to grab this one and connect it to the center. If I can get it on there. Okay? Which you're going to leave these 2 just hanging out there. And then you're going to get a single band and go to the right. So that's the pattern. Okay? So after you come in the center with the single band, then you do the beaded band and then a plain band. Beaded band, plain band. Beaded band, plain band. So it works just like that. Okay, now I just like to make sure I'm getting the right bands. These two go together. So I'm going to go from here to here, kind of working a little slow, and then a single band going across. And then I need another double band. Okay, so I'm going to grab the bottom band. Sometimes they're in order and sometimes they're all twisted. These two go together. I'm going to go right here to right there. At this point, do a single band going across. Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, after I did the single band, we need the double band again. Just like that. Single band towards the center. Double band, beaded band. And then a single band towards the center. Okay, that is the pattern. So if you want to finish that all the way down the loom, I'll show you. We're going to be using black sweets because it's, like I said, black sweets and black. It's the same color, just one has a little more to it, sparkly. So they're very similar colors. That's what I mean by similar. Okay. So I will return. Now that I had finished that, I'm going to move on to my black sweets. And we're going to start here on the right hand side, and we're going to go up 2 diagonally, just like that, okay? And that's the only one we're going to do that with. Okay, then we're going to go from here to the center, and we're going to start our pattern. And then from the center, diagonal. And then go to the center and then connect diagonally to the other side. Center. Let me zoom in. Diagonal. Center. Diagonal. Center. Diagonal. So you're going to finish that all the way up the loom, and then I'll meet you here with the cap bands that we're going to put on and then start looping. So now that we've finished that all the way up, this is what your loom should look like. Okay, now we're ready to loom. So what I'm going to do is turn my loom around just like so, and we are going to need some cap bands on all 3 of these pegs. So I'm going to I guess use opaque will be fine, and do a triple cap band on each. Oops. 2, 3, 1, 2, whoops. Okay, so since the ones we just laid, which are the black sweets, are on top of all these bands, I'm going to start over here first. I'm going to go in through the cap band, grab it, and bring it back to itself. Grab the top one, bring it back to itself. Okay, so that's basically what we're going to do all the way up with just the black sweets. Bring it back to itself, go in, bring it back to itself, bring it back to itself, all the way up the loom. So very simple, not hard. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera and finish this part. Let you go ahead and get that going, and push your bands down along the way. It's done. So now I'm going to go in through this right cap band and do the same exact thing with those beaded bands. So just bring them all back to themselves. Make sure when you go in here you're grabbing the top band. You don't want to grab this single chain going up. Okay, I've done that a couple times. Just want to make sure you're getting the right ones. Okay, Go over here to the center, go in here. See, I almost grabbed the wrong band. And if you see it going like this, I just take that little beaded band thing and put it over to the side. Not going to hurt anything. And you're going to do this all the way up the loom. Okay, just like we did the other side, that's what we're going to be doing. Just make sure that you're grabbing the right band. I keep wanting to grab that bottom one. Okay, so do that all the way up the loom. Now that I've got this black sweets and the opaque sweets, and I've got that whole center loomed up, we've got to do the single chain going down the center. So you go in through this middle cap band, and you're just going to do a single chain all the way up, okay? Super simple, no big deal. Okay. And then when you get the single chain all the way done, we're going to loom up our border. So I'll go ahead and show you how to do part of the border, and then I'll go off camera, finish up my single chain and border, meet you at the top with the C-clip, and get ready to take it off. Whew. Okay, so center cap band, grab both. You want both the black and the yellow bands, okay, because it's a double banded. And you're going to bring it over to the left. Go to this side and bring it up, and you're just following the border, making sure you pick up both of those bands. And you're going to do that all the way up, okay? So over here, go back in the center, go toward, oh, I should have pushed my bands down. Go to the right with it, get those two bands, and just follow it up, just like we did on the other side. Do the border all the way up, okay? And then I'll go off camera and finish mine, and I'll meet you up at the top with your six. So I've got my single chain done the center, and I've done both of my borders. Ended here, went to the center, ended up here, went to the center, and now I'm ready to put on a C-clip. And take your hook and a band, put it down through the center, put your band on the hook, bring it towards you and up, and put it on your hook just like that. And I have failed to practice what I preach and have my C-clip ready. So I'm going to go ahead and put it, well, I thought I was, put it on the band, and I'm going to leave it there on the hook just in case it comes off for whatever reason. And I'll use my other hook to take it off. I look underneath and I can see, well, it's hard to tell on this one because I've got those loose bands in there, whether everything's looped up or not. Whatever. So then I start taking it off. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do each one singly rather than trying to loosen the tension. It just makes, this is such a, it's only a 3-pin bar, so it's just easier to do it this way. I'm not going to rip it off. I'm just going to do it just like this. Take it all the way off the loom, and I will meet you right back and show you what mine looks like. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, bye. I'll meet you back. Just got mine off the loom, so I'm going to take it off, and my C-clip will be right there. Okay, this is what I got. I'm just going to spread it out just a little bit, try to pop things into place. Looks a little crazy, disheveled right now. Okay, so this is what it looks like, which I just think it's a cool design. I don't know. I don't like it with those other colors though. But you see how some of them are popping through on the other side? We've got to fix the bands. So, as you can see, wherever there is a bead is where the bands are, okay, that that we need to fix. So I'm going to just grab the bead, just the bead, pull it up, and then it just slides right out. See? Grab this one, just pull it, and there it is. Pull it, there it is. There's one sliding back in there. Make sure I'm on camera so I can show you. So there's one side and there's the other. Okay. Grab this bead, pull it, and then it pops out. See how that one's in there? Just grab the bead itself, pull it, and then you'll see both ends. This one's tucked under there. Grab the bead, pull it, and then it comes out just like that. And that's what you're going to do all the way down. Okay. I'll just stay on camera so that you can see what I'm doing. Kind of just alternate side to side. Okay. Make sure that's okay. The good thing about this is that these opaque bands, there's not a whole lot of bands to fix, and I really don't have to fix any bands from the sweets. They just want to stay, this one's giving me a hard time. They just want to stay, you know, in place. So not a lot of twisting going on. That's what I like about it. Because twisting is my pet peeve. As far as when I do a design, I have to make sure I untwist all my bands. It just drives me nuts. Okay, this one's giving me a hard time too. And I've got this side. Okay, hold on one. So I fixed all my bands. As you can see, all my beads are there. They're like kind of, you know, like alternating. And that's what it looks like. Just like that. They're not going anywhere because they are on. They're on there pretty good. But I wouldn't recommend taking it and pulling it. If I was to pull them out, I would definitely grab it by the bead and just lift up and it should pop out. Because you don't want to pull them out. Okay? And doesn't look like a lot we need to fix as far as twisted bands. There may be some down in the center. It's harder to tell with the center. Yeah, there's a couple. Okay, yeah. Nope, that looks pretty good. Kind of hard to tell. You got a center in there, but that's kind of how I wanted it. Okay, so that is the beaded wasp. I think it's pretty cool. This is, I made this 2 full loom lengths long, and so it's absolutely perfect for my wrist, you can see. And this one I made not quite as long. This one I think I stopped one from the top. But these are the beaded wasps. And this one I did earlier, and it looks like a shag rug or an angry swarm of wasps. So, like I said in the beginning, don't recommend doing these colors. I would do the side in 2 separate colors if you want to have that look. And then I would do the center with probably opaques with the beaded bands, or if you're going to, you can use the 600 count pack sweets or whatever for those. That's the only thing that'll fit through the seed bead, because you need to put 2 bands through. And then I would just use like a very similar color that will just go under there. See, I'm just going to go up close. See where the black sweets are? It just gives it a little sparkle. But that's what I would do, and then you'll get this effect. If you use too much yellow or of a color, it's going to really look terrible. So I don't recommend that, but I think this is pretty cool. All right, so this is the beaded wasp, and I hope you decide to make one. And if you do, it would be kind of cool if you went off a different color scheme. And it doesn't have to be just because I named it beaded wasp. Doesn't mean it has to be yellow and black. You can also do it in, you know, pinks, purples, or whatever. That's the cool thing about it. And it is only 3 pin bars, so it's perfect. So, okay, well, with that said, I'm going to say bye.